Good day, guys. Today we will discuss about corporate communication. This is the introductory of our course. So our objective for the course are first, understanding the importance and the difference of corporate communication. Second, to increase listening, speaking, writing, effectiveness in business communication. So we have a basic communication model. So the speaker is what we call the encoding. Those are the encoding message. Then the decoding is what we call the listener. So in order to have a successful communication, there must be a clear send and receive communication. So we have 3B of communication. So first is the verbal, what you say, so the message. Second is the vocal, how you say, music of your voice. And third is the visual, how you seems on and who are you. So most powerful elements of communication is visual. So give importance to visual itself as much as the knowledge and experience. So in the sense that when you talk to your client or you discuss with your client, you must be also in appropriate attire for to be convincing. Kay, as I mentioned, di ba, we need to be sell ourselves first before our product. So you must be convincing, and to be convincing, you should be clearly or visually presentable with your client. So common problem areas, sending, so lack of gesture, tone of voice, ambiguous words. So these are some of the lacking to convey the importance of the message. So may siyang common problem. Environment, so noise, physical obstacles, inadequacy of the channels. So clearly, kailangan when you talk, you are in the proper environment. That's why usually if you have a meeting with your client, you set your meeting somewhere you can really discuss, in a restaurant where this is not noisy. So you can clearly understand what your client can clearly understand what you're trying to say or trying to discuss. So even right now when we do our online, because right now due to pandemic, due to COVID-19, most of the time we're doing our meetings through online, and clearly you need to use a clear tools for that, like what specific, like are you going to use Google Meet, Zoom, or other platform, but still kailangan dili siya noisy ang place where you do your online, so that wala siya mga background, or other company use noise reduction ng mga headsets, so that wala siya feedback, di ba? Imagine if you have doing a meeting and then suddenly a dog will bark or na yung mga saba kayo, so technically it's inappropriate, di ba? So next, receiving, so interpretation of any words or behavior, perceptual filter which reflect all our past experiences and learning. So again, usually you should use a word that appropriate. At the same time, you must the way you deliver your voice are clearly, even though you have no meaning or it has your ideas are simply just discussing what you're wanting to share, but still the way you deliver it are different meanings. So the tone of your voice has an effect. So sa receiving side, based sa ilang experience na nasa different interpretation. Okay, so problem in sending, so using technical words for communication to non-technical people. So this is very very important. When you actually present or talk to some people or discuss with some people, you must know their background. So before you go to a meeting, kailangan you have checked the background of those people that you are going to meet. You should know their technical capabilities. And if you know that they're technically capable, then you can discuss technical. But if you don't know, if you know that they are not technical, then you should discuss in layman terms or terms that they really can understand. So doesn't mean you are good speaker. You're already a good presenter, because at the end of the day, it's how you present with your clients. If your clients are non-technical, then discuss on non-technical so that the message can reach them. Otherwise, the use of your your presentation if they don't understand the discussion. Second, forgetting the visual and vocal elements are the most important, words less. So again, discussing with the client doesn't mean long discussion will be better. So the more ingon pa nila, ang gamay nga istorya mas maayo. Okay, kung gamay rin yung istorya, then mas effective siya kung masabda nila. So important nga, even though you have nice visual and vocal elements, but if you talk and drag a lot of discussion that not relevant to discussion, then it can be useless. Okay. Third, ignoring the situation, expectancies, and insert of the listener according to their expertise. So again, it's better when you do discuss with your client, you try to understand the situations or the current trends, so that you can make the discussion more interesting with the listener. Because if you do discuss, usually the better now is like storytelling. So you try to discuss some relevant issues in relation to your discussions, or perhaps try to understand, connect the discussion based on environment or the current situations. Those are the things. And also, based on your expertise, kay listen po kayo mag-discuss kaga ang imong discussion are not relevant to your expertise. Okay? So that para when you're talking with your client, the client will really your client will be convinced with your discussion, because you have expertise in that field. Noise in the environment. So noise create distortions on the message and prevent it from being understood the way it was intended. So again, no noise can disrupt the discussion. Sorry. So there must be a good background. Imagine if you're in a classroom and then there is a construction at the near the classroom, and it's very very noisy. Do you think a student can still listen? Diba ma-disrupt man ang distraction. So dapat when you start, you observe first the locations, the area, if noisy ba siya. So if noisy, then you need to look other way or look other options. Then third, noises may be ringing telephones, honking horns, messy, chaotic surrounding, etc. Usually in my class, I am very very strict. I have a house rules in my class before that I think it's number 4 and number 5, but you cannot use that in the class because we are online. So on number 4 and number 5 is that I usually allow cell phone in my classroom. I allow them to answer a call and read a text, because again, students do that, but with one condition. The condition is very very simple. When you receive a call, you actually loudspeaker it so that everybody can hear it. And when you read the message, you're going to read it loud and clear so everybody can hear it. So that's actually my rule in the classroom. Why? Because it's actually disrupt. Imagine people that talking and then you're answering. In sales, we also have this kind of arrangement with my sales team that if there are people who are around, like they visit in your store and talk to you to discuss their requirements, and then suddenly someone call you on the phone, I usually inform my sales team that do not answer the call. You prioritize the people around you, the people who visited you, because they really extend more time to visit you than the call. So after that, then you do the return call. But first thing first is really to talk to those who are around you. So that's actually the idea. So again, those mga hunky, horny horns, messy, chaotic surroundings, those are something that you need to consider when you are in the discussion. So those noise environment. Then third, time, inappropriate time may be an obstacle to give message clearly. So Friday afternoon is not proper for a heavy meeting. So again, clearly Friday are not good because people are on the vacation mood or weekend mood. So you better schedule it Monday to Thursday. So in our sales, it's rare that or it's if we can schedule Friday, it's very very important schedule or the client don't have other schedule. But most of the time, we don't schedule it Friday because it's really the mood of the people are either it's already going home, so drinking session with friends or what, or perhaps na yung mga date schedule, kaya Friday siya, Saturday has no work, so those things. So perception problems, so listener ability to understand. So again, you need to understand your listener. Kailangan you perceive based on what do you think they are. Ako usually, before I go to a meeting, I try to do the background check of the client. I try to understand his background, especially what are the religion, what are the political affiliation, what are the course of this person, or what's the background. So I have idea on what things to discuss. So nana kayo perception on sa iyang capabilities, on sa iyang that's very important because usually when you do discuss with the client, it's not just all presentation. Sometimes you need to tackle things that are not relevant to the product but are something related to the person or to the community or to these things that the person's like type of basketball. You discuss the playoffs, something like that, what are currently what's happening. If the person is Lakers and you are Warriors, then don't discuss about favoring the Warriors than the Lakers because that's gonna be offensive, di ba? So a lot of things like that. Then second is lack of attention in inattentive or bored listener. So this is very very important. You need to be observant with your listener. If the person usually lay back, there's something you need to adjust in your discussion because the person keep distance with you or the person try to nang langhab na siya, then you need to look into all of that. Maybe your discussion are not really interesting, diba? Or the person is bored. So you need to create usually the better way of doing the communication is trying to incorporate the discussion in relation to the person or to the company of the said product or the said discussion. Because the point is that the more you included them in the discussion, the more it become interesting. Because they will, they're part of the current discussion and the current, headache that they're encountering or bottleneck that they're encountering and how to resolve it, then they will be interested. Third, emotional state, stress, fear, anxiety, and anger. So these are very very important. So you need to understand these situations before you pursue the discussion. If this person are in an emotional state, then not better, di ba? Even yan, if the person, even in relationship, if you think that the person are not in emotional state, like namatyan, ganahan pa lugar kag mag-discuss og mga problem sa iya, I don't think it's right. Or the person is stressed or have problem, and then you will dugangan pa nimong problem with your discussion. So I think it's inappropriate, right? So better check the situation also. Okay, those are financial pressure. Yeah, this one, the person is nasunugan or current na nasunugan ilang company, and then you will offer a product for them. So financially they are not capable because they are encountering problem, diba? So those are very very important nga prejudgment. So this is what I say important also for you With this, you can really think of what is the capability of the company. So, di ba, you did a background check. So, you already have prejudgment before the discussion. So, you know already their financial capability of the company or of your client, or if the company is payment terms is 90 days, of course, you know already. Okay, you check the background. You have experience with them, or other company that you do the background check already inform you that this is specific client. Like for instance, if you say Del Monte payment terms is 90 days, and those are the discussion already. So don't insist like, 30 days among payment terms for this product, ma'am. Knowing that you already have so not high prejudgment. So that you will not tackle anymore those things that are not gonna be acceptable to them. So not high prejudgment. So lastly is be sure that the receiver is on. So again, base ng imong kay store na natulog. So better be, observant, di ba? The person you're talking are on, and you need to, call their names, or sir, you remind them, sir, are you okay with what I'm discussing, sir, or what? Para to check if they are still on you. Maybe they're imagining already. Okay? So those are the perceptions problems. Okay? So the importance and difference of business communication. So time is money and time has a cost. Again, people give you time to discuss because they think that the discussion will be helpful for their company, or they will get something in return. So don't waste those time. Okay, it's an opportunity. It's actually make or break, especially if first transaction with the client. If you're given an opportunity to discuss the product, assumption nila is that it's gonna be helpful with them. But if you go there not prepared, not ready, and you waste your time, then it's gonna be something that make or break. So it will be break. So technically, it will never be profitable for the company. And most of the time, people have network and discussing all those things. So you might have difficulties with the client because they can share the information or the experience they have with you. So important with the money and time. Okay, so time is limited with project, DL work hours, daily labor work hours. So it's very very important that you give importance with the time. Those people who was with you, or napo sila yung mga important commitments. So again, if you set a meeting, you be in on time in the meeting, and you plan already your meeting like 1 hour. You discuss how many hours he is available, so that the discussion will be 1 hour. Don't try to discuss up to 3 hours or 4 hours. It's gonna be at the beginning it's gonna be interesting, then later on, because of the time that you consume and then the engagement and commitment that the client have, later on will be mahimo na siya ma-discourage about you, because you cannot commit on what are agreed. Again, it's a word of honor, and kung nag-set mong meeting, nag-set mong time after sa mga meeting, then that's you follow that one. Okay, so business people are not our family or friends. This is very very important. You need to remember this. Dili forky kay you thought that this person is even though kailan nimo let's say kailan nimo friend nimo siya nasa kay meeting, don't try to kailangan nimo i-differentiate ang business and friendship. Okay, tungod kay friend mo okay lang malate ka, tungod kay friend mo okay lang i-consume nimo yung time. No, that's not how it is. So important you put your mind that this is a business transaction. This is not a friendly meeting. Ako nga even a friendly meeting, when you commit something like on time, then you need to be on time. Okay, nagsabot mo sa mga friends, mga ligo ta, kita ta sa Dunkin Donut, Divisoria, makita tag 8 a.m. Abot mo kauban mga 10, 11, di ba? Those are inappropriate. So business is not a game or joke, but serious. So again, business is not a game or joke, but serious. You want to earn money and you want to make your business grow or the company grow, then you need to make it serious. Be committed. Okay? This is not just a type of game that when you lose, okay lang. Kailangan mong good. Losing in business is also part of it, but losing, kailangan you learn something out of losing. Okay. Then it is a half diplomatic environment. So half diplomatic, give and take for both parties, the client and you. It's not you all the time. You try to listen to them what are they going to discuss because you will learn from them. Okay. Then we may need any person in a career or career path with a nice memories about us. So again, if we have meet a lot of clients and then they have good memories with you, they will recall you. And if they have needs for business and you know that they know that your product or it will be top priority. They will discuss it with you because they have nice memories with you, right? Again, we always remember those nice memories, and if these are nice memories, it's really interesting to go back to it, right? So same game as a business. If they have good experience, then they will return to you and do another business. Business common must be brief, well designed, precise, specific, short, net and clear, and understandably comprehensive. I think this is very very explanatory, so I will not really discuss this because I think you can understand it clearly. So here are the four personal types. So beside necessity of being briefly and precise, and then there are different types of people in the business world. This is what I would like really to focus because you cannot use same approach to different client or different people because they have different approach. Again, you need to be observant and learn from your client. So before you go to a war, what you need to do is observe the environment and understand those people that you're going to meet, right? I think you have here the mama sapa nung itong ambush. So technically, SAP are known for urban warfare. So urban na sila, so city proper and mga and then they go to the remote areas in what do you call this? They go to that area specifically, so mamasapan and then they sad to say they are not familiar with the terrain, they are not familiar with the area, and they are not familiar with who are the people there and who's the enemy. Because I think the specific target is I forgot the terrorist name, but that's the specific person target, and they did not actually do a survey of the area. So sadly, they were ambushed, and they were not prepared. So they lost 44 good men because of that. And technically, if you observe, whose fault it is? So again, they did not know those people that they were going to encounter there. So in business world, those are very very important. You know the type of people that you need to know. You know their capabilities. Understand who are good on that place. When you talk technical, you bring the technical. Specifically, you have a product. You have different products. You have network security for IT. You have virtualization, cloud computing. So you need to bring those who are expert on that specific field for a specific discussion. And don't bring all of the people. Okay, of course, kailangan specific. At the same time, you know the people that you're going to talk to. What are their expertise? Are they engineer? Are they IT? Are they what? Health officials or what? Or lawyer, doctors? What? So you need to know that. So that the flow of discussion will go based on their expertise that can relate to your product. Hindi kayo just discuss, broad discussion. So you need to understand those. Okay? Then third, they seems different, behave different. Okay? If you observe that they are well and proper, then you be prepared well and proper. Okay? Okay, those will be the important things. Okay? Then they expect to be communicated differently, then of course you expect if they gesture, if they po and po or what, or respectful kayo, or you observe them, the way they act is different, and you adjust yourself based on who they are and what they really want. And they expect to be communicated differently. So this was described by Carl Jung in 1920. So two dimension of model, so directness, indirectness, then supporting and controlling. So again, remember this. So dimension 1, direct versus indirectness. So describe the person observable behavior. Then means that the tendency to move forward by expressing thoughts, feelings, expectations in order to influence others. So this is way of direct discussion, so that tendencies to move forward by expressing your thoughts, feelings, and expectation. So for you to influence the people, direction in showing of your ideas, and to influence the specific person or the client. So dimension 2, supporting versus controlling. So explain the motivating goal behind our observable actions. Supporting people tend to put relationship with others as their chief priority, and then controlling people prioritize the accomplishment of the tasks at hand. So typical direct people 1, so fast-paced, assertive, take charge. Forceful type, a person who confront conflict, change, risk, and decision making head on. So these are the person, mga direct person, or the people that when they encounter problem, they solve problem directly. So ako, I'm type of this person, direct ko nga tao. If I encounter problem, I resolve it right away as possible. So that not to let the problem grow more. Okay, common we have we're type people nga when we encounter problem, we tend to just wait until time that we are ready to resolve it, or we don't want to really head on those problem, and that's why sometimes the problem grow, they make it more bigger, and then that's, you have hard time in resolving it. So as early as possible, if you encounter problem, then resolve it. These are the direct people, and this is the type of person who I am. Outspoken communicator, so often dominate. So yeah, I intend to be like that. So I'm really outspoken in communication. So I really intend to dominate the discussion, but I'm trying also to be democratic in all the time. But sometimes, if I observe that the discussions flow are not really on the right track, then I try to take over. Okay. Then competitive, impatient confrontation. They bulldoze their way through life, often arguing for the sake of arguing. Well, this is not me again. This is a different So there's other people like this, very competitive. I'm competitive, but I don't actually do bulldoze their way through life. So sometimes I do argue for the sake of clarity and verifications of what all needs to be done. So but I don't discuss just for the purpose I don't argue just for the purpose of arguing. So typical direct people too, so confident, maintain strong eye contact, and have firm handshake. So again, this is very very important also. People who are you need to important kaning handshake are way of communication. You need to grip the hand of the person that you're meeting. The purpose of that is affirmation and sincere. So that's why you need to when you shake the hand, you need to grip the hand. It's actually that confirmation, affirmation, and so again, very very important. So again, sa direct people too, it's more about eye to eye. Actually, tanan discussion you need to eye to eye, because through eye to eye you can really see sincerity of your person you're talking to. So people who drive accomplishment and not concerned with the rules and policy, so tend to think it is easier to beg forgiveness than to take permission. Then speak quickly in loud, aggressive tones and present bold visual appearance. So typical direct people 3, the direct people may seem hasty, combative, and has a lower awareness of others needs, impatience, dominant and manipulative, and talkative. So they may seem dedicated and determined, energetic, risk taker, active people also. Typical indirect people 1, so cautious in their approach to risk, decision making, and change. So slow pace, low key, meek, harmonious, so slow to take initiative and at social gathering, and then tentative reserved communicators who hesitate to contribute in a meeting. Then conflict avoiders, diplomatic and patience cooperative. So typical indirect people too, on important issues prefer to conform rather than argue. When they have strong conviction about an issue, and however, they will stand their ground. Say low profile, reserved, and gentle. Handshakes are gentle and they speak in slow pace and lower volume. So these are indirect people too. So I hope there are people who are indirect here, mga stowaways and lower volume. Then lastly, general conservative and reserved in their visual appearance, making indirect qualified statement. So briefly, direct, indirect, verbal. So indirects are those asked, would you like to sit down? Direct tells, have a seat or sit down. Indirect, listener. Direct, talkers. Indirect, reserved opinion. Direct, express opinions. Indirect, low quantity of verbal communication. Direct, lots of verbal communication. Indirect, steady, even delivery. Direct, more voice variety. Indirect, less forceful. Direct, more forceful. Indirect, lower volume. Direct, higher volume. And then indirect, slower speech pattern, faster speech pattern. So briefly, direct, indirect, visual. Again, indirect, gently handshake. Direct, firmly handshake. Intermittent eye contact. Steady eye contact. Limited gesture to emphasize points. Gesture to emphasize points. And then exhibit patience, displays impatience. So typical supporting people one, so are emotional open, which animated facial expression and physical gesture. So feel comfortable expressing joy, sadness, and confusion. Then maintain closer physical proximity and to be huggers, handshake, and touchers. Are informal and prepared to be relaxed, warm relationship. Excuse me. So typical supporting people too. So enjoy lows, amuse conversation. So frequently tell stories, often embracing incidents. So prepare unstructured time and are seldom disturbed when other people waste their time. Supporting people are more accepting about time, usage, and arrange their schedule according to the needs of the people first and task later. So flexible about other times also. So typical supporting people 3. So supporting people are motivated by their relationship and feelings. So they want to get to know people and they tend to make decisions based on the feelings, experience, and relationship. So emotional, open, and show it by using visual language, more vocal implications, making continual eye contact and communication in terms of feelings like their joy, sadness, and confusion, etc. So typical supporting people 4, they like to make conversation enjoyable so they often willingly stray from the subject to discuss personal interests and experience. So they may seem not dependent, weak in attention, concentrated poorly according to the controlling people. So typical controlling people 1. So emotional reserve called poker faces, more rigid, physical, and less expressive than supporting people. Tend to keep physical and distant from others. Guarded and controlled, physical, mentally, emotional, seldom lose control, and then task-oriented, dislike digression from their agendas. So typical control people 2, back-oriented, decision makers, want to see statistic or hard evidence. People who prefer working alone and put little value on opinion and feelings. More comfortable operating in intellectual mode, champions of time management. They are the efficient expert of the world who create and follow rigid plans and schedules. So typical control people 3, controlling type, are motivated by the tasks at hand and want to accomplish their goals. Usually keep their distance both physical and mentally. tend to stay away from others, have strong sense of personal space and territory, and hate it when someone invades it. Then have restricted range of verbal, vocal, visual expression, controlled hand and body movement. Then typical controlling people 4, controlling people adhere to a more different discipline agenda, concentrate on business, keep their personal feelings private. They prefer working with the things or through people rather than with them or for them. They may seem restrictive, coercive, or result-oriented, interested in with most of the feeling but time usage of others. So self-assessment first, are you more direct or indirect? Are you more supporting or controlling? Second, think of different person with whom would you like to communicate better. Source of your difficult is the difference of personal styles. So again, we will have those in the task or assignment for next meeting. You will be requiring to do a self-assessment. I'll upload later on our e-learn the assignment in relation with this self-assessment. So being open to different styles, so knowing which person's style best describe you and the other people you need to communicate with is an important step in analyzing and improving your communication skills. Each personal type has a different way of perceiving the world, behaving and communicating. Learn to reach them. So here are the 4 behavior styles. So supporting, controlling, slow, indirect, and direct. So supporting is relationship oriented, controlling is task oriented, direct is fast paced, and indirect is slow paced. So the socializer 1. Socializer are direct and supportive. So friendly, enthusiastic, and action people. So like applause, admiration, and compliments. So tend to place more priority to relation than tasks, like to have fun and enjoyable life. They influence others with a great persuasion. So the socializer 2 need interaction and contact with people, are risk taker and based on a more intuition, act and decide spontaneously. So are concerned with approval and appearances, think emotionally, think about the big picture, and get bored with the details. So socializer 3 like changes and innovation, need help in getting organized, dislike conflict, maintain a positive optimistic orientation to life, exaggerate and generalize. So tend to dream and get other caught up in the dream. So the socializer 4, so jump from one active to another, work quickly and excitedly with others, seek esteem and acknowledgement from others, disorganized, touchers, and motivational. For balance, they need to control their time and emotions, be more objective, concentrate on the task, take more logical approach and to projects, spend more time with checking, verifying, and specifying. So the director 1, director are direct and controlling. They are driven by an inner need to take charge of a situation, so are firm in their relationship with others, oriented toward productivity and goals, and concerned with bottom line result. They may seem tough, impatient, and stubborn. So director 2 need to be in charge, dislike action, act quickly and decisively, think logical and powerful oriented. 1 facts, highlights, strive for results, sometimes workaholic, need personal freedom to manage self and others. So the director 3 like changes, prefer to delegate details, cool, independent, and competitive, low tolerance for feelings and attitudes and advice of others, work quickly and impressively alone, want to be recognized for their accomplishment. So director 4 have a tendency to engage in arguments, complex, decisive, and precise efficiently, have a good administrative skills, always in a hurry, talk business shortly. For more balance, they need to learn active listening, patience, sensitive, humility, respect to rules, teamwork to show concern to others, and project more relaxed image. The thinker 1, thinker are both indirect and controlling, analytically persistent problem solver, security conscious and a high need to be right, slow to reach a decision but decisive, uncomfortable with illogical people, are non-contact people or non-touchers. So the thinker 2, think logical and analytically, need data, need to be right, like organizations and structure, ask many questions about specific details, prepare objective and task-oriented intellectually work environment. So the thinker 3 need to understand the process, are cautious decision makers, prefer to do things themselves, work slowly and precisely alone, like to admire for their accuracy, avoid conflict, and like to contemplate. The thinker 4, discipline about the time rigid, like charts and graphics, critical for their own performance, tend to be accountants, engineers, computer programmers, system analysts, and architect, chemistry, physician, and maths. For balance, they need to improve the timely and decision-making initiation to new projects, to show concern for others, try time savers and shortcuts, adjust more disorganization and change. The retailer relate to supporting and indirect. They are the most people oriented of all four, having close friendly personal relation with others as one of their most important objective and dislike conflict. Have a good counseling skills and supportive excellent listener and their likes of listeners. Retailer 2, concerned with stability, think logical, want documentation and facts, need personal involvement, take action and make decisions slowly, need to know step-by-step sequence and avoid risks and changes rather. Retailer 3, work slowly with others, try to accommodate others, want tranquility and peace, seek security and belongingness, enjoy teamwork, want to know that they are appreciated. So retailer 4 have relator 4 have strong network of people like them, an assertive, warm, reliable, soft-hearted, compliant, slow in taking actions, avoid risks, good trust builders, good team players, and they are irritated by pushy, aggressive, and ideal occupations of counseling, teaching, and social working. Human resource. Retailer 4, primary strength, relator 5 rather, primary strength in relators are caring for and loving others. They like others to be friendly, courteous, genuine, responsible, and sensitive. For more balance and need to learn to say no, to be more task-oriented and less sensitive for others. Be willing to reach from comfort zone to set a goals and delegate it to others. So the fourth style of business life, so socializer, the other people to be risk taker and act quickly in this SAB. Director, like others, decisive, impatient, and receptive, intelligent. The thinker, like others, to be credible, professional, sincere, and courteous. And relators, like others, to be courteous and friendly with sharing responsibilities. So the fourth style in social life, the socializer is like others, uninhibited, spontaneous, entertaining. Directors, like others, assertive, clever, and has sense of humor. The thinker, like others, to be pleasant and sincere. The relators, like others, to be with real personalities and friendly. So the fourth style of at a glance, so relators, relationship oriented. Socializer, relationship oriented. Move, act, and speak slowly. Move, act, speak quickly, and risk taker. Want tranquility, peace. Want excitement and change. Enjoy teamwork. Enjoy spotlight. Good counseling skills, good persuasive skills. Thinker, task-oriented and director. Move, act, and speak slowly. Move, act, and speak quickly. Want to be accurate. Want to be in charge. Enjoy solidarity, intellectual work. Get result through others. Cautious decision makers. Make decision quickly. Good problem solving skills. Good administrative skills. So adapting yourself if you are a director. Lower your emphasis, control of other people, develop and demonstrate more supportive skills and actions such as listening, questioning, and positive reinforcement. Adapting yourself if you are a socializer, lower your emphasis on need to approval from other people group, develop and demonstrate more directive skills actions such as self-assertion, conflict resolution, and negotiation. So adapting yourself if you are a relator, Lower your emphasis on resistance or try a new different opportunities. Develop and demonstrate more directive skills and actions such as negotiation and divergent thinking. Adapt yourself if you're thinker, lower your emphasis on unnecessary perfectionisms and tendency of focus weakness. Develop and demonstrate more supportive skills, actions such as emphatic listening, positive reinforcement of others, involvement with others with complementary strengths. So communication with socializer 1, direct and supporting people who talk, move, and make decisions quickly and they are relation-oriented. So support their opinions, allow their discussion to flow, even go on par by entertaining and fast-moving. So communication with socializer 2, avoid conflict and argument, agree and make notes on the specific of any agreement, complement their appearance, creative ideas, and persuasiveness and charisma. Allow them to get off their chest. So communication with director 1, direct controlling people who talk, move, and make decisions quickly and they are task-oriented. So support their goals and objectives, talk about desired result, keep communication business-like. Communication with directors 2, recognize their ideas rather than them personally. Be precise, efficient, well organized, provide them clearly described options with supporting analysis. Arguing on facts and not feelings when disagreement occur. Communication with thinker 1, indirect controlling people who move and make decisions most slowly. They are task-oriented, so be true and well prepared. Support their organized, truthfully approach. Support their need to be accurate and logical. Demonstrate through actions rather than words. Communication with thinker 2, complement their different efficiencies, thought, process, and organization. Be systematic, exact, organized, and prepared. Describe a process in detail and explain how it will produce result. Ask questions and let them show you how much they know. So communication with thinker 3, allow time to deliberately and analyze, answer, question, and provide details and analysis. So list advantage and disadvantage of any plan. Provide solid, tangible, and factual evidence. Communication with relator 1, be warm, sincere, support their feelings by showing personal interest. Assume that they will take everything personally. Allow them time to develop trust in you and move along in an informal and slow manner. So communication with retailer 2, active listens, discuss personal feelings in the event of disagreement, discuss and support relationship, complement their teamwork, their relationship with others, and their ability to get along. So one-dimensional adapting. So sometimes you may want to adopt your style, but you may be not sure what style the other person has. If you recognize one dimension, you may adopt yourself in the way that this may be enough. Again, thank you guys for today's discussion. So, you can review it. I'll upload this discussion sa atong e-learn. But again, please take note, I'll be giving an assignment or a task for the next meeting in relation to these discussions. So I will be requiring you to have your assessment of what type of person you are based on our discussions and explain it. So later on, I'll upload sa atong e-learn the things that you need to do and what to need to submit.